Dream, a series of thoughts, images, and sensations occurring in a person's mind during sleep. Your mind will come up with these hallucinations. One time it's a perfect fantasy. Everything's going your way and it's perfect. And then you wake up and it doesn't get the perfect ending. Another time it's a nightmare. It's straight disaster and there's only two ways it ends. You go into that disaster, let your nuts hang and fumble, or run away from the disaster but you're too slow and it's over. And then your dreams can just make zero sense and it's just mumbo jumbo, brain rot, skibbity, you get the point. So based. I don't dream too much, but I would assume every time I dream I'd remember it, right? But all of my dreams go straight into the gutter. That was until recently. I had two dreams that I remember every single detail, bar for bar, word for word. And on top of that, there was meaning behind it. They connected to real life in a way. Perchance. I don't know if this is a shocking development to anybody, but dreams can relate to your real life sometimes. As ridiculous as it could sound, sometimes you just gotta put the dots together. It's just because sometimes our dreams are so ridiculous, the message behind them is there, but it usually goes unnoticed. And I ain't blaming anybody. So, enough talking, let me tell you about these dreams. So it starts off in a car lot with my family. They're just having a lecture with me about how I need to lock in, how I've been like a lazy monkey and whatever. Transition into this classroom that was the size of a ballroom that looks like a college that I never went to, with the parking lot of an elementary school. I don't really know how that comes together. And the professor in this classroom was just on about what he's usually on about. And then there's this one kid who's in all these classes with me. Let's call him Christopher. He's based on a real person who was in my classes not too long ago. Christopher also has a buddy. We'll call him Jamar. Me and Jamar have been friends for a while, but the thing is, he doesn't go to our school. Christopher and Jamar like to troll, and Christopher thought it would be a good idea to bring Jamar up to the school and do some tomfoolery, I guess. They both had this prank in mind, but first, before they could do it, they had to get the professor out of the classroom some way possible. So Chris had a rat in his bag. He kind of just let out the cage, and everyone started freaking out, and the professor leaves to find a janitor or something, right? So now everyone is in this one corner of the room, kind of like a lockdown drill, And then Jamar and Christopher, somehow, in the span of 3 minutes, flood this whole ballroom with 2 feet of water and paint spray Walter White on the ceiling. And I found it pretty goofy, and the professor comes back, sees me laughing, and thought it was me and confronted me. He couldn't prove it was me, so he let me go. Christopher and Jamar completely got away with it. Not even questioned at all, which was something, I guess. So the class ends and I have to stay for like an extra hour and a half proving my innocence. Drop to my knees bawling like, I didn't do shit, give me a break, free me. After that was over, I head over to my car and was ready to go home. And as I'm walking to my car, I see this guy. He's not walking directly behind me, but he's following me to my 10 feet to my left. And as I'm walking down the parking lot, he's still 10 feet to my left. And as I get to my car, he's on the opposite side of my car, waiting for the door to open, and I already know shit's about to go down. He hasn't even said a single word to me. I don't know if he was trying to intimidate me or something. As I was walking down the parking lot, I did a little side eye at him. He had a buzz cut and had something in his pocket. I couldn't make out what it was, so I just assumed worst case scenario, and I opened the backseat door, and there's just a katana sitting there. Why? I have no fucking clue. It really just spawned out of nowhere, but lucky me, I guess. And that blade was long, It had that Victor Wembanyama reach, so I knew I was in good hands. So then I open up the driver's door, and he's pointing his knife at me. And he says, give me your keys. And I look at his knife, and I'm just laughing at the back of my mind. I'm just like, it's clipped for this man. Mind you, this guy is standing across my car. So he has the passenger door open while I have the driver's door open. So he's trying to have a knife fight in between the seats. So, I had to box him, 200, slash him across the face with the katana. Once Slash stopped him, he started screaming and started calling me psychotic and calling me crazy and everything for what I did. And, he just skedaddles away. And that was really it. From him, at least, the dream keeps going. So I check out my car just to make sure there's no damage, and I end up having to get a rental because he scratched a lot of my car and slashes one of my tires before leaving. So I get my rental car and end up going straight to the gym. I end up seeing another professor there, much older than the other professor. I had my lift, he yapped about traveling, and I finished. And I was driving back, and I crashed the rental. Now I ended up crashing on some coast with a bunch of rocks on it, and the closest place to my accident was an elderly home. I went inside and asked if I could use their phone, but they wouldn't let me even get near anybody because I wasn't a community habilitant or something like that. And then I explained to them what happened and they were cool with everything. And then this old person comes up to me and shits on me for what happened and what I got myself into. It's his elder blunt and says, "Does all this foolishness make you feel alive?" And then everything fades away and the dream ends. I woke up in kind of a cold sweat, I'm not gonna lie. And every detail and memory I have of it was so clear the second I woke up. I thought my brain was having some kind of renaissance and how clear I was remembering the whole dream, and I wrote it all down on a post-it note. The meaning behind this dream I was having was I was kind of slipping at the end of the semester and I had to focus. And if I didn't lock in, these were the worst case scenarios possible, which is just straight delusion. The college was based off other schools I've seen somewhere, and the Walter White on the ceiling was spray painted because I saw a Heisenberg shirt with the exact same kind of design of Heisenberg on that ceiling, right? And the elder blunt was from a Kola's video, I think. And the old man questioning me with the blunt was just questioning my time management. I mean, my channel is an embodiment of how shit my time management is. And this dream made me sit and ponder about my next move. My conclusion was, fuck it. Redemption of the Sigma.
They ain't worth it to me because I'm different. I worth it to them because they're all the same.
Now, the next and final dream I'm going to be talking about, I don't remember if there was meaning behind it, but it was just a bunch of ridiculous shit put together, and I kind of just wanted to throw it in here. This dream basically starts with me in a room learning about quantum physics, and a big presentation's coming up. My brother and a bunch of other people I know are there, and then me and my brother just end up falling asleep in the presentation, and we wake up the very next day. So this advisor comes in, this very big woman, not no snow bunny, more like a big chungus. She's really nice to my brother about the whole blunder and warns him not to get too sleepy or something, but gets mad at me for being irresponsible. She ends up escorting me into her office to talk about this issue further, and she takes a seat and ends up falling through the seat, kind of like that one scene from The Sopranos I'm putting up right here. It was like a marshmallow tumbling throughout the office, and she's too embarrassed to carry on, so she just dismisses me. So I end up shrugging it off. I go home and play Minecraft, and I'm making a whole highlight reel playing survival games because I'm cooking, and then this random person comes into my room, shakes my hand, and he didn't say much to me. He said, "What's up?" and just left. It freaked me out, and I was getting DNA tests on my entire family for some reason to see who was real, because who the fuck thought it was a bright idea to let this fucking goon in, and the dream just ends. These are the dreams I assume most of you guys think you're having, you know, dog water, filler arc for a whole lot of nothing. After I had those dreams, I had to go and ask around about what kind of dreams do other people have, and also what do certain dreams mean. So I ended up doing a little bit of research and asked a couple of people I know. I wasn't going to do like hours and hours of research because fuck that. I'd rather do 3 sets of shenanigans, 5 sets of lollygagging, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, one thing someone told me is, if you have snakes in your dream, something in your life is untamed and might stab you in the back. I find it absurd. I never had a snake in my dream. I've had dreams in a desert or just outside, and not one snake has come across me. Source, just trust me, bro. I've had this reoccurring nightmare as a kid growing up, where I'd be in a normal setting and everything, and everyone would just disappear, and I ended up being chased around by this cartoon character into a desert, and ended up being run over by coyotes every single time. I don't know what the meaning was behind this, maybe avoiding learning multiplication or some shit like that. I tried finding out the name of this cartoon character, but I can't find him anywhere. It was some educational show on VH tapes my mom would put on, and I would never see that character anywhere except on those tapes. The last type of dreams I want to talk about are precognitive dreams. I have these dreams a lot for the dreams I do have. It's where you dream about a future event and it happens relatively soon after the dream. My precognitive dreams, it's always like a minute detail or a small moment that pops up in my dream, and I forget all about it when I wake up. I always end up remembering it. I had that dream exactly when that moment happens, and every time it happens, my brain has to stop everything and says, "Oh my god, that was in my dream!" And then I forget about that dream ever happened all over again. Like, they could be useful if the split moment wasn't me talking about the weather or something, you know? But that's enough yap. I'll wrap it up here. But before you guys go, I'd like to thank all of you guys for 500 subscribers. The support of the last video was very pog, and I'm gonna try to get another video out soon. Comment what kind of dreams you have and new video ideas, and I'll return soon. And if you guys are still looking for a Clash Royale clan, join the Curious Joel clan, the best clan out there. We still have 30 spots open. We just need people to do clan wars, so if you and your friends want to join, We have a bunch of spots for you guys, and just be active. I'll catch you.
Like and sub, cue the outro.